Oh, okay. What's up, guys? It's Dean. Good morning. It is, let's see here, 12 of our Manful Yoga Morning Challenge. Yesterday, I forgot to put my microphone on. Today, hopefully, this is sounding better. So, can someone just let me know if you can hear me or not? Just give me a, hey, yes, Dean, I can hear your sound. Something like this, yes. Um, And so, if you're just joining me, this is a 30-day morning yoga challenge. The goal is to get you into the habit of doing yoga on a daily basis in the mornings. We'll be doing these videos Monday through Friday at 8 a.m. Central Time. So, if you're on the East Coast, you're going to be an hour ahead at 9 a.m. If you're on the West Coast, it's going to be 6 a.m. Mountain Time, 7 a.m. If you can't follow, if you're watching these live, make sure to comment and say hi. The question for you today is, what time do you wake up? What time do you go to bed? What time do you wake up, and how many hours do you sleep per night? So typically, what is your sleep like? That's what I want to know. Has a profound effect on your mornings, and mornings have a profound effect on your evenings. So it's a nice little cycle. If you can work on one, you're going to improve the other. Um, so personally, for me, I actually get a lot of sleep because um, I'm I'm currently very focused on my fitness, so I'm getting a lot of sleep. Um, so I try to get I think I try to get 9.5 hours of sleep per night, which is unrealistic for most people. At other times, I'll get about 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep. But right now, I'm aiming for 9 to 9.5 hours, which means I go to bed at around 10, and I'll wake up initially at 6 o'clock, and then I'll go back to, and I'll stay in bed until about 6:30, or sorry, until 7:30. So let me know what your sleep is like. Um, we've got 3 yoga postures for day. Today, it's just going to take about 5 minutes, so it's not going to take that long. But from here, you can go on to doing more poses if you want, or you can just do these poses that we do here. Totally up to you. All right, let's get going. So our first exercise is a warrior two. So everything is going to be based from this warrior two position that we do today. So everything's going to be based from this warrior two stance that I'm about to show you here, if you're not familiar with it. So we're going to take a wide stance, like a little bit more. And first thing is, you want to make sure that your feet aren't caving in. All right, so I want you to push into the outer edges of your feet. You should see a bit of a shadow between the arch of your foot and the ground. And then from here, hug your thighs toward one another, kind of reach your tailbone down, and tighten through your core. Keep your ribs lifted up and away from the hips. Now, this positioning remains the same for this pose for the most part. The only thing I'm going to change here, moving into warrior two, I'm going to turn my right foot out, keep this uprightness through my core, keep the legs squeezing toward one another, and then bend into the knee. I like to think using my right foot to pull my hips in that direction. For me, that just adds a little bit more hamstring engagement, but you're welcome to think about it however you want to. Again, I like to think pulling my hips forward using my right leg. So sinking into that. Abs stay tight, tailbone reaches down, ribs lift away from the hips. I'm not puffing my chest out. I'm also not collapsing. I'm just staying neutral. Arms come out. Pressure fingertips in opposite directions. And I want to keep my hips and my shoulders mostly framed out to the side. There is going to be just a little bit of a turn with your hips to face somewhat, not directly to the outside, but for the most part, keep your hips and your shoulders faced directly to the outside. And notice that my hips are under my shoulders here, okay? So I'm not leading with my shoulders. I'm not leaning like this with Warrior 2. I'm pressing my back hip into my front hip. All right, there's Warrior 2. You can hold this for, I recommend, 45 to 60 seconds. Let's pivot. We're going to switch sides. So turn your right foot back in, turn your left foot out. We're doing all that again. Squeeze your legs toward one another. Use your left leg to your left foot to pull your hips toward your left. Reach your tailbone down. You want to keep your abs tight. And if you look at me from the side here, and if you look at me straight on here, what I'm doing with my hips, I want to keep my butt under my torso, okay? I'm not letting my butt poke out behind me like this. So it helps to think keeping your femur, right? Keeping your left thigh in a straight line, okay? From the side, this is kind of what it's going to look like. Notice the lower back isn't arched, right? I'm not doing this. Keeping my butt under my torso, squeezing my left knee to the outside, and that's going to engage my glutes. Legs still hug toward one another, arms are out in opposite directions, and I'm looking straight over my left middle finger, so I'm getting a nice twist through my neck here as well. Is Kaya pooping in the background? Yes, Kaya is pooping in the background. She's just wonderful. All right, and then fingers pressing in opposite directions. I am getting some stretching through the chest here, and I want to really keep my body weight focused on my core area here, right? So right in the hips and the core, not leaning forward, not getting over the knee, but keeping that weight right in the hips. And then straighten the leg. Oh, God, that smells awful. And then we're going to pivot and go back to the other side for a reverse warrior. So I'm going to go right back into my warrior two, pulling my hips toward my right foot, using my right leg. Hips stay under the torso. Arms are out in opposite directions. I'm going to flip my right hand without changing the lower body. Keep the leg bent. Reach your right arm straight up and back and extend up. Okay, so this is a reverse warrior. I'm going to work a little bit on my balance here because I'm looking up. I'm not looking at the ground, so that's normal. If you feel like your balance is challenged, make sure that you're bending still into your right leg. A big tendency here is to kind of straighten that leg and get lazy with it, so make sure you're continuing to bend into the knee. And then make sure that you're pulling your ribs away from your hips and getting nice and tall here through your core, right? So I'm not getting lazy and just reaching back, but I'm actually reaching up and back. So as we inhale, lift higher. As you exhale, squeeze back. One more breath here. All right. And then switch. We're going to pivot to the other side. So turn your right foot in, turn your left foot out. Again, use your left foot to pull your hips forward. Butt stays under your torso. Abs are tight. Arms come out in opposite directions. My shoulders and my hips are mostly facing to the outside, legs hugging toward one another. And then from here, flip your left hand, take a big inhale. And then as you exhale, reach up, reach back. As you inhale, get taller. Reaching up, so you're going to feel a big stretch all the way from your left side up through your shoulder. Still stretching through the groin here. This is a challenge for your lower body just because you're holding up your body weight. And as you look up, you might be challenged with your balance. Stay tall. Keep the hips low. Keep both legs engaged. All right. And then release. And we've got one more pose here. So one more warrior two variation. Come back into your warrior two on the right side. Pull your hips forward with your right foot. Make sure that you're feeling the muscles around the knee, the muscles around the hip engaging. And then from here, you're going to bring your right wrist inside your right knee. Stay long through your torso here, so don't collapse, but stay tall. And then extend your left arm up. So we're kind of making a straight line from the back foot up through your left shoulder, right? So I'm not collapsing here. I'm not rounding. I'm not poking my body up. I'm keeping my abs tight. I'm keeping a really nice base with my core. Weight is still in the hips here. In a side angle, you're going to work on rolling back that top shoulder. So a little bit of a twist with the spine, actually. So you'll feel stretching through your back. You're going to feel stretching through your chest, through your shoulder. And this also allows you to work a little bit deeper into your lunge that you have here. So you're going to feel a little bit more through the groin as well. One more breath. And then come back to warrior two. Right back to where you were before. Pivot. Straighten that right leg. Left foot turns out. Coming into warrior two to get set. Again, legs hug toward one another. Squeeze the left knee out. Arms come out in opposite directions. Back hip pushes into the front hip. Squeeze your right thigh. Make sure that knee is locked out and you're using your quadriceps, squeezing your hamstrings. And then left wrist comes inside the left knee. Right arm extends up. As you exhale, maybe getting longer through your spine so the top of the head presses away from your hips. And as you exhale, rolling back that right shoulder, going deeper into your twist. Now this left hand here is just hanging out. I'm not resting my body weight here, okay? That if you want to avoid cheating, press the back of your left wrist into the inner knee, and that way you'll avoid putting weight there. Kaya literally just rolled and kicked the camera. That's why the screen shaked. It's clearly being needy today. All right, so back thigh squeezing tight. I'm sinking deeper into that front leg, staying upright through my core, and looking up at your right hand. All right, go ahead and come out of that. Straighten the leg, turn it in, bring it back together. All right, from here you can go on to do a few more poses, whatever feels good. But that is our challenge for the day. Again, the goal here is just get you into the habit of doing 3 yoga poses in the morning. That was on the, as far as these challenge workouts go, I think that was on the harder side. It wasn't, from a strength endurance aspect, that is challenging to do. So if you felt like that was difficult, that's good. It was challenging, especially as you're instructing and holding it. Well, from your point of view, it lasts a long time because you're there, you're doing the pose, but you're also learning how to do it. So you're staying there for a longer time than you might normally, would, perhaps. All right, so if you're not already part of the challenge, make sure to sign up at manflowyoga.com/morning30. We're giving out a new Cork yoga mat, Manflow Yoga training program, Guyoga, and DVD, along with a bunch of Manflow Yoga swag every week for this challenge. So make sure to sign up for that on my website if you have not already. You'll get a chance to win that giveaway. We're doing a new one every week. Last week we had a winner from Pennsylvania. Week before that we had a winner from Brooklyn. So yeah. Aside from that, make sure to subscribe to this channel if you have not already. We put out right now, all the way through August 23rd, we're going to be doing these live sessions at 8 a.m. Central Time during the week, not on Saturday, Sunday, but during the week we'll be doing these sessions. So it's a great way to get into yoga, to start making yoga a habit. I always like to say the easiest way to start doing yoga is just to start with a couple of poses every day at the same time. Just get into the habit of doing a little bit of yoga, and if your intention is to build from there, you can build, you can do more. Make sure to like this video if you've been watching and you enjoyed it. That's going to help me, with the success of this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it if you like the video. Just hit the thumbs up button. Hit the bell button to get notifications if you're not already receiving notifications. That way you'll know whenever we release a new video, or if we are going live. You'll get a notification for that. And then, yeah, my question for you guys today is, how much do you sleep? What time do you go to bed, and what time do you typically wake up? Just a little bit on that, and I do have a blog on this. On my website at manflowyoga.com/blog. We talk about do's and don'ts of sleep and a bunch of other tips on improving your sleep. Let's see here. So sleep. Ideally, you're getting to bed shortly after it gets dark. You shouldn't be watching screens. You shouldn't be watching TVs. You shouldn't be on your phone before you go to bed. You shouldn't be doing anything stressful. You should be going to bed and waking up at the same time. Ideally, you need at least 8 hours of sleep per night. It takes about 30 minutes to fall asleep, and you need 7.5 hours or 6 sleep cycles. Or is that 5 sleep cycles? 5 times 1.5. Yeah, you need at least 5 sleep cycles per night. So that's 5 90-minute sleep cycles. And if you don't get those full sleep cycles, the difference between 6 hours and 7.5 hours is pretty astounding, actually. I highly recommend reading a book called Why We Sleep. It is very illuminating as to what happens to your body, what happens to your brain when you don't get the full 8 hours of sleep. Even the difference between 6 hours and 7.5 hours is crazy. So if you are not getting 8 hours of sleep per night, I'd highly recommend reading that book. That would hopefully give you some motivation to learn more about improving your sleep. I just did have a question here. Someone asked about the 10 by 7 challenge and how does this fit into the morning yoga challenge. It does not. So the 10 by 7 challenge is something that I offer. It's a campaign that we run on Facebook to get people started on manful yoga, kind of like this, except this is a more organic campaign. 10 by 7 challenge is a totally separate it's a totally separate program. It's 10 minutes, seven times, or seven. So 10 minutes, 7 days per week. I would do that at separate times of the day. So if you're ever confused about how to fit in 2 workouts per day, spread them out as much as you can. Right. So if we're doing a workout, make sure you're doing a workout in the morning and then do a workout in the late afternoon or the early evening. And that's the best way to combine 2 workouts, or to make sure that you're doing 2 workouts per day. When it comes to yoga, if we're just doing these 10-minute sessions or 5-10-minute sessions, you can do them every few hours. Maybe you do it in the morning, maybe you do it at lunch, maybe you do it in the evening, maybe you even do a bit of restorative or some stretching, some easy yoga before you go to bed. So that's how you can combine these workouts if you are doing that. So I think let's see here, who commented on that? Frank commented on that. Steve Frank. All right, you got to turn off. All right, yeah. Let's see here. I'm looking at comments regarding sleep right now. It really is kind of illuminating because a lot of people are active. A lot of people are trying to, eat well, but what's really holding them back is their sleep. If you guys aren't sleeping well, your hormone levels are not going to be great. You're going to need more carbohydrates during the day, and you're going to stress eat more. You are going to need more energy because you just feel more tired. So you're going to get that by eating sugars and, sugars and carbs, basically. So if you're not sleeping, you're also not going to recover as quickly from your workouts, and recovery is actually how you get stronger. So if you're not sleeping enough and you're working out a lot, you might actually be doing more harm by working out. So you want to make sure that you're not training too much, and you want to make sure that if you are having issues sleeping, that's something to work on first. You can do things like stress relief, stress management, easy restorative yoga, meditation. You can do stress management and stress relief and calming your body, getting your body into that state of rest and digest, as opposed to stressed, is really important for getting better sleep. And it also depends on the workouts you're doing. If you're getting enough sleep, working out intensely is going to help you sleep, but only if you do it in the morning or kind of in the afternoon or late afternoon. You don't want to work out intensely after 6 p.m. or your body's still kind of be in that workout mode and you're not going to be able to wind down. So there's a lot of stuff, but it's not as complicated as you think. So hopefully some of that was helpful. So yeah, I'll be here tomorrow. Thanks for watching this video. Again, make sure to like it if you're watching this. We've had about, it's been really cool to see all the people tuning in for this challenge. We have over 1,000 people signed up for the challenge now on the website. So if you haven't already done that, make sure to sign up. And if you're looking for more workouts, if you're looking for more structured programs or longer workouts, I have over 330 workouts on my website, and I have over 35 workout programs on my website. So you can easily follow a schedule of workouts, do them on your own time, on the convenience of your computer, your phone, your tablet, your TV, however it is you watch things. And then get results. And it really only takes a month. That's what we hear from our members over and over again. If you do 3 workouts per week, you'll notice a difference in the first month. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye.